Part 8, Chapter 4 of Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, translated by Nathan Haskell Dole. This Librivox recording is in the public domain. Read by Mary Ann Spiegel. While the train stopped at a certain government capital, Sergey Ivanovitch did not go to the restaurant, but walked up and down the platform. The first time he passed Vronsky's compartment, he noticed that the window was shaded. But, when he passed the second time, he saw the old countess at the window. She called him to her. "You see, I am going as far as Kursk with him." "Yes, I heard that he was going," answered Kozneusev, stopping at the window and looking in. "What a noble action on his part," he added, seeing that Vronsky was not in the carriage. "Well, what could he do after his misfortune?" "What a horrible thing it was," said Sergey Ivanovitch. "Ach, what I have not been through! Yes, do come in. Ach, what I have not been through!" she repeated, as Sergey Ivanovitch came in and sat down on the seat beside her. "You could not imagine it. For 6 weeks he never said a word to anyone, and he only ate when I begged him to do so. We dared not leave him alone a single instant. We took away everything with which he might kill himself with. We lived on the first floor, but we had to be on the watch all the same. You know he shot himself once before, for her sake," said the old countess, her face clouding at this remembrance. "Yes, she died as was fit for such a woman to die. Even the death she chose was low and wretched." "It is not for us to judge her, countess," replied Sergey Ivanovitch with a sigh. "But I can imagine what you have suffered." "Ah, don't speak of it. My son was with me at my country place. A note was brought him. He answered immediately. We did not know at all that she was at the station. That evening I had just gone to my room, and my Mary told me that a lady had thrown herself under the train. I felt something like a shock. I understood instantly what had happened. I knew it was she. My first words were, 'Let no one tell the Count.' But they had just told him. His coachman was at the station when it happened, and saw it all. I ran to my son's room. He was beside himself. It was terrible to see him. Without speaking one word, he left the house. And what he found, I do not know. But they brought him back like one dead. I should never have known him. Prostration complete, the doctor said. Then he became almost insane. Oh, what can be said?" cried the countess, waving her hands. "It was a terrible time. No, let people say what they will. She was a bad woman. Think! What a desperate passion she was in. She did it to make an extraordinary sensation, and she succeeded. She has done irreparable injury to the lives of 2 men of rare merit, her husband and my son, and ruined herself." "How about her husband?" "He has taken her little girl. At first Alyosha consented to everything. Now he is awfully sorry, having given up his daughter to a stranger, but he could not take back his word. Karenin went to the funeral. We succeeded in preventing a meeting between him and Alyosha. For him, that is her husband, this death is a deliverance. But my poor son gave up everything for her, sacrificed everything. Me, his position, his career. And she was not contented with that, but wanted to ruin him besides. No, whatever you may say, her death is the death of a bad woman, a woman without religion. May God forgive me, but when I think of the harm she has done my son, I cannot help cursing her memory." "How is he now?" "This Serbian war is our salvation. I am old and don't understand much about it, but God sent it for him. Of course, for me, as his mother, it is painful. And besides, they say, ce n'est pas très bien vu à Petersburg. But what can be done about it? This is the only thing that could save him. Yashvin, his friend, gambled away all he had and enlisted. He came to Alyosha and persuaded him to go to Serbia with him. Now this is occupying him. Do talk with him, I beg of you. He is so sad. And then, besides his other troubles, he has a toothache. But he will be glad to see you. Please talk with him. He is walking up and down on the other side of the track." Sergey Ivanovitch said that he would be very glad to talk with the Count, and went over to the side where Vronsky was. End of chapter 4.